Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I wanted to take you through my thought process here on what I did. Let me hit the refresh button. I'm kind of trying to help John Deaton in the kind of similar to what we did during uncovering ETHgate. I'm trying to retweet, and I went and I found all of the people with the biggest shows in politics that could get John on and help get the word out to promote John Deaton's candidacy against Senator Warren, who's the anti-crypto candidate. And so I went in and got all their handles. So if you would please retweet this, go donate to John. And by the way, if you're international, you can't donate to John's campaign. But John is self-funding. So a way that you can help to support John is just go and buy his book on Amazon. I mean, that's the other way for those of you that don't live in the United States, since you can't donate directly to the campaign. If you buy his book, you're indirectly helping him because he's self-funding his campaign. So go and do that. And please go retweet these because we want to get John on some of these major shows. Can you imagine if John could get on like Tucker Carlson or something like that? Now check this out. Mark Cuban has 8.8 million followers and he's retweeting. Eleanor Terrett pointed this out. He's retweeting John's announcement that he's going to be a candidate in Massachusetts. That is huge. I think you're going to start seeing John pop up on all sorts of media. Wanted to show you this. It's time to, Meta Lawman says it's time to pass the torch. Senator Elizabeth Warren will be 75 years old on Election Day, which means if she were reelected, she would be 81 years old at the conclusion of her term. Massachusetts, you know what to do. That's from a, actually, you know what that reminds me of? Many of you may or may not get this reference, but one of the characters on the Howard Stern show was known as Eric the Midget. It was a midget kid who called in angry all the time. And there was one episode on Howard Stern's show where Eric the Midget called in and he was complaining about some fan that, he was complaining about some guy that had badmouthed him on the show. And they said that it was almost like he was ordering a hit on the guy. And he says, Johnny, you know what to do. You know what to do. It was one of the funniest things ever on the Howard Stern show. Anyway, sorry about that aside for those of you that don't listen to Howard Stern, but it was hilarious. You can look it up on YouTube. Type in Eric the Midget. You know what to do. Based on Fibonacci, this is Crypto Bull. He's showing back up with his bold comments based on Fibonacci extensions using the logarithmic chart. XRP should hit $10 at the 0.5s, 27 at the 0.618, 39 at the 0.702, and 387 at the 1. As you can see, price hit the 0.70 each time in previous bull runs, and based on the bars pattern, will hit it again. Facts. I think Crypto Bull must want the crypto police after him on this Friday, and I'm sure they will come. But I like the guts. Jesse Powell. Today, Kraken responds to the SEC. The SEC threatened us with this lawsuit one day after, I think this is their general counsel, chief legal officer of Kraken. He gave his congressional testimony and they threatened them with lawsuit one day after. Its purpose is simple retaliation, intimidation, and harassment. The SEC continues to delegitimize itself with every bad faith act. I mean, think about how much Gary Gensler has done to destroy the reputation of this agency, and nobody seems to care. Ashley Prosper gave a great outline of everything going on right now with these cases, with the different legal cases going on. Ripple versus SEC in remedies phase. Coinbase versus SEC pending motion for judgment on the pleadings. Binance versus SEC pending motion to dismiss. Kraken pending motion to dismiss. Debtbox, pending motion to dismiss. Gemini, pending motion to dismiss. Dragon Chain, discovery phase. You see all these. This is crazy how much stuff's going on. And any one of these could destroy Gary once and for all. This is a great clip from Cybos. Listen to this.
So the Federal Reserve also brought to light their real-time payment system, FedNow, just a couple of months ago. And we hope that with the combination of RTP through the clearinghouse and FedNow through the Federal Reserve within the U.S., that we'll start to see more of that drive. And then lastly, also for international remittances, and this is where working with organizations such as Buna and others internationally is coming up to speed on those digital payments, and it's only going to help further accelerate that momentum going forward. And while CBDCs do show a lot of promise and potential, I think they're still in the very nascent phases. So we're right now in the exploration. Too much attention, I think, is being focused on, too far ahead in the future. We have a lot of problems that we can solve here and today with the people and the organizations represented within this room. Is to say, how can we use some of the newer real-time payment clearing systems? How can we improve RTGS as it exists today through these industry collaborations to start addressing some of those 19.
All right. Interesting stuff. And then we've got this clip. Here's another one. This is the world we're going into. He gives Hedera as an example, but it's
applies to XRP it's clear too. At this point that we're
come on.
Tokenized world. Everything you see and touch, everything of value is going to have a digital twin. And the way I think that that's going to scale up is through supply chain. So we have a user of Hedera called Atma.io. It's Avery Dennison. It's a global company. They're a supply chain company. And they are processing billions and billions of transactions on Hedera today, where their supply chain customers have product flowing into their supply chain. That product is tokenized. As the, say, sneakers, as an example, get produced, the sneakers end up having a token associated with them. Those tokens can interface through the decentralized finance tech stack, meaning that the tokens associated with the sneakers can be traded for stable coins in a programmatic way to fund the capital, to provide funding for operations. As the sneakers get ready to ship, the pallets of sneakers have tokens that are traded again for an AR, an accounts receivable from the distributor that is buying those pallets of sneakers. The ARs programmatically get factored again through the DeFi tech stack, and in return, they get more stable coins to again increase free cash flow. That's what the future is going to look like. And because of that, everything that you see and touch is going to have an associated token. What we've seen so far is just the tip of the iceberg. Even if we forget about pictures, right? Forget about apes. Even if we look at the tokenization of financial instruments, as we've seen through KKR and maybe real estate, et cetera, all of that is just the tip of the iceberg to what's coming.
Tip of the iceberg. You got that right. Now, I want to take you through Regulatory Capture 101. This is a conversation on CNBC with the Grayscale CEO about an Ethereum ETF. And I wanted to show you, lay it out for exactly what Hinman, Gensler, Clayton are responsible for. Regulatory Capture 101. 1, create vague, fake regulatory clarity for Bitcoin, Ethereum with Hinman speech. 2, approve futures for both. 3, approve ETFs for both. 4, invoke investor protection as reason you can no longer sue Ethereum founders for illegal securities offering they did. Claim it would hurt investors to do so. 5, claim you can't approve an XRP ETF because of the pending SEC lawsuit. See how this works, folks? This is how crooked these people are.
Well, we do have an app file. Grayscale sponsors ticker ETHG, right. Grayscale Ethereum Trust, largest Ethereum fund in the world. An spot Ethereum ETF is a matter of when, not a matter of if. And
you say that because, with such confidence.
I say that with confidence because my team has been doing the tough work to move this industry forward, work constructively with regulators, focus on disclosure, investor protections, and that's been true for Bitcoin. Proud of the work we did with GBTC, and now
do you think? Look, it took a lawsuit to get Gary Gensler to back down on this, right? I mean, and we just had Gary here recently, and you saw that interview. I'd love to get your reaction to it, but clearly left to his own devices, this is not the outcome that he would have preferred. I think that's, at least in between the lines, that's what I think he has said.
Well, he actually wrote a pretty strong dissenting letter around this and really focused on the Grayscale lawsuit the day that the approvals for spot Bitcoin ETFs came out.
And so, which then begs the question, on the Ethereum front, if that is to move forward in a meaningful way, does that require another suit?
It's too early to say. It's too early to say. I think we have a similar dynamic in the market where the SEC has allowed for and approved Ethereum futures ETFs to come to market.
Exactly.
The data suggests in a very similar way to Bitcoin that spot Bitcoin and Bitcoin futures have an inextricable tie. The markets have a 99.9% correlation. Same is true around Ethereum. And so we do have a very similar dynamic here.
Give us just a little bit of a behind the scenes over the last month and a half. Since this has now happened, there have been outflows from your firm, a lot of inflows apparently to BlackRock and some of the others.
Okay, we won't go any further into that, but what we're going to talk about in DAIXRP.com is two things. The first is the IPO market's heating up, and you can go to my sponsor link too if you want to check out pre-IPO private equity. But the IPO market's heating up, so and Ripple doesn't appear to be willing to IPO in the U.S., and there's been some whispers of a potential IPO outside the U.S. So I wanted to look at those IPO markets and see which ones are the biggest. What are the options? What does it look like out there? I'm going to show that. And also, if Ripple wants to become the Amazon of blockchain, what would that look like? What would that plan look like? That's what we're going to talk about. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.